Hey, when going through any kind of storm, you want to know you're dealing with the pros. How about some storm pros, everybody? Stay tuned for more. We'll be back. This is the Your Little Castle Show. Giddy up. Welcome, everyone, to Your Little Castle Show. I'm one of the luckiest guys on the planet here. I get to talk to experts from all different spaces in Missouri, in the Midwest. If you're going to deal with any kind of a storm, you better have somebody who's a pro. So we have brought an expert into the building. Cyril, I'm going to make sure I say your Hart. There it is. Yeah. Make sure it comes up on the screen for me. Cyril Hart is in the building here. Been doing this for 15 years.
Yes.
Around the country. You've got a number of states you've been around, and great background he brings here to share with us a little bit about this. But stormprosmo.com. You've got that. That's a dynamite name. He's got it on his. Got the swag and everything here.
Local to Missouri.
Well, thank you for coming here to help us understand what we deal with, and we go through this. What time of year is the best? What time of year is the worst? It's hard to say. I'm going to ask our expert here. But first, give a shout out to our sponsors, Carroll House Furniture, because you like nice things in your little castle. Check out our new logos we've got there. I paid a highly priced ChatGPT. That's what I did there. I uploaded that to ChatGPT, and now we've got new logos. You can see they're included in all of what we do here. A little bit of fine tuning. It makes it a little more fun, a little more easy to read. But with that, these storms that have come through our area many times.
Oh, yes.
We've been hit recently this year. I'll never forget. I was at home. I was down in Florida for spring training, which is right about where we're at right now. Mm-hmm. And the first tornado that came through, there's two tornadoes.
There's two. Roller. Yeah. Roller got hit and Arnold got hit.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Yeah. Some more than that too. So yeah, I called my mom, like, get downstairs, but take your cell phone with you. These storms did quite a bit of damage. This is kind of normal for this Midwest region.
It is. It's very normal, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Well, with that, welcome to our studio, Cyril Hart. He is an expert and a man after my own heart, if you will, because he helps these small our homeowners here, who are often very small business owners, is what I was going to say there, to weather these storms. And with what has come through here, two tornadoes in 1 year was first time in 21 years or something like that has happened. But you can pretty much count on a storm coming through St. Louis, Midwest, 2 or 3 times a year every year.
You can almost go to the bank with that one. Yeah.
Well, tell me what led you here. This is a very awesome industry to be in. But what led you here? Why did you decide to jump into this 15 years ago?
Well, first, thank you for having me on. Okay.
It,
a buddy of mine, I grew up in Oklahoma, so no stranger to tornadoes and hail and being from the Midwest. And a buddy of mine roped me into this out of college and said, hey, come out here and start helping people, process claims and work through getting their home restored after a storm hit it. And I was like, man, I'm out of college. I'm going to be out there knocking on doors and talking to people. What are you? So I kind of researched the business, the industry, kind of learned. I said, okay, I kind of like this, because you're getting to help people navigate through a process that they may not have the time for or may not even have the knowledge on how to navigate that process properly.
Yeah, I'll say it's a little bit daunting, if you will, because you've just had damage to your house that could equal something $50,000, $100,000, at least $15,000 or $20,000 in damage,
right.
And now you've got to go and one of the biggest areas most people need help with is going through that claims process with the insurance company.
Right.
Why is that so important?
There's legal things that's involved in that, but the big thing about the insurance, I know it's a big. Sometimes people say, oh, the insurance, they don't want to pay, they don't want to do anything. And I haven't found that necessary to be the case. What I have found to be the case is getting the right information into the right people and understanding the process that what is involved. And in most cases, insurance will do the right thing. There has been some times where there are some battles and homeowners may be stuck. I'll give you an example, like let's say, for instance, siding is discontinued. They don't know that they have a matching clause or that the ordinance says that all elevation has to be replaced. So a homeowner may see that and say, oh, insurance only gave me $4,000 for that, but it's going to cost $20,000, to repair this or whatever. So we'd be able to kind of sit down, explain to the homeowner, the process and how that works. There's a few steps that you can go in as far as like finding out whether it's discontinued, the different categories of it being discontinued. That's one avenue of it.
Yeah, that's an important one. That one hits home with me. A lot of people know that we had that 2013 tornado come through here, and being a guy and I had some buddies, and what I did, this mistake I made is I went through a buddy who's still a friend, but he wasn't even like full time in it, but he had some connections. He could save me a few bucks. Well, I have white siding, so the guy who did the claim said, "Hey, you don't have any major damage." Later, a guy made the point to me that because the siding is weathered, it's got a little chalky feel to it. If it's older, they should have replaced all four. I only got two sides. That really cost me. Well, these are the kind of mistakes you don't want people to make.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You got to think about it too. When you got to put moisture barrier behind that, and so that moisture barrier has to wrap around the corner. And so by code, it's either 3 feet in some instances and 12 inches in other instances. But either way, that corner piece has to be pulled off, and that moisture barrier has to come around the other elevation, which causes, well, you can imagine old siding. You're pulling that off. That's going to tear. So in the process of assembly, that gets damaged. Well, that's the cost of doing work, and that's also covered.
See what we're talking about? This is why we've had, not that the other guys, that particular topic never came up, but I mean, that's one, you got to know that stuff to be able to understand.
I'll get into the profiles of it too. I mean, the thickness of it. I mean, yeah, you mentioned the color, but then the pattern, okay, the weather grain of it, you know what I'm saying? It may be completely off. And that's another thing that brings in where it's not going to match. I mean, these are people's number one investments. I mean, they may sell this home. They may live in it, retire, or they may sell it and pass it down. But I mean, this is what they take their pride in. And I take my pride in helping them.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah, when you talk about the depreciation, then somebody doesn't get these things fixed correctly. Now they've got to go back and fix it later because they just didn't know the right questions to ask.
They know, or sometimes people don't even think that they can get their depreciation. They'll think, oh, insurance depreciate this claim, and so I don't have this money coming. It's like, and so they feel stuck, and they're like, oh, well, how are we going to get this done? We got to cut corners somewhere. That's not the case, you know. Look at this. This is recoverable. So that means once that work is complete, the insurance is going to release this money to you. And they're like, oh, my God, Cyril, I thought that, you know, I had to come out of pocket all that money.
Again, back to better know what you're talking about because it can get very costly. And I thought I knew I was in the right place. That one cost me a little bit. I won't let that one happen. But you got to talk to the experts that are in the space, and that's what you bring to the table here. So that's exciting. But 15 years with this.
15 years.
And so then along the way you said, hey, wait a minute. I don't need to work for somebody else. I can do this myself. When did you start the Storm Pros? When did you guys start that?
So I was introduced to the business here in Missouri about 15 years ago, but in 2018 is when I got my first start where I became my own business owner out in Virginia, dealing with the military community, government workers out there. You know, a good community to be with. You know, you do right, do what you say you're going to do. You got referrals that just take off. And I mean, it just took off. And I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting it to take off that fast. And being that Missouri is where I got my start, a buddy of mine that just finished college out in Springfield said, hey, man, I want to get in this business. I said, well, if you're serious, I've always wanted to expand back to Missouri because that's home for me. In a sense, that's where I got my start. You know, I feel like I'm a Missouri success story based on that this is where it brought me into this industry. And the knowledge that I gathered working in other states, I'm able to bring that back here to the community and share that knowledge.
There you go. That kind of expertise is what we're all looking for because you make the mistakes that somebody like myself, I might have fallen into the category of too smart for my own good. and 'cause I can handle this. I'll get it done.
Oh, yeah.
And not until I had a siding guy on that he talked to me. He's one of my best guests on here. He's been back for Isaac Abchinikoff. I say his last name correctly. Okay. But he does James Hardy. He's like, but do you realize that stuff deteriorates? It's got a chalky film to it. I'm like, I didn't know that. I mean, I bet, I don't know. There's few experts that have as much information.
Well, I mean, that's what we all, each person teach a person, and that's what it's about, man. Just kind of share the knowledge.
Okay. Very, very good feedback there. I like to hear that. We want to help people to get to that next level so they can bring on their own career and be successful. And if it helps them with the job or if it helps them just with their own home, that's a great way to do things. But what is it about this that fuels your passion? Obviously, this is something you've become very knowledgeable about this. Tell me.
What I love about it the most is the relationships I get to build with the people. You know, growing up in Oklahoma, it was different, and being on the road, I got to experience a lot of love from people, and being able to be brought into somebody's home and be a part of their home is being a part of their life, and that's what I find the most that I love about this business. I mean, we all got to work, we all got to make money. I mean, everybody knows that. But at the end of the day, it's about what you love doing. And I love that. You know, somebody looking at their home and they might have had experience before. Well, the insurance denied me. I'm kind of scared going into this situation. They're not going to prove. I'm like, look, you know, we're not going to file a bogus claim. I mean, you've got direct physical damage up here. Just trust me. Let's file this claim. And then they're like, oh my God, sir, I never knew we was going to get that done. Then also being Master Elite with GAF, the type of warranty I can give is big because we go with the impact resistant Class 3, Class 4, and now the homeowner's actually saving money on their premiums moving forward. So we create a win-win situation all the way around. And honestly, that's what I love the most about it.
There you go. And when you're talking about impact 3 and 4, and bottom line, you're getting this where you get higher quality stuff that they might not have known that they were eligible for, but you're bringing that to them.
Yep, and now they're saving money.
Are those free upgrades many times?
Sometimes they're free upgrades. Yeah, the Class 3 is a free upgrade.
Okay.
Yeah, Class 3 is a free upgrade. Class 4 is going to be a little bit, you know, that might get in the pocket a little bit, but not too bad.
But it's worth it for the longevity and the warranty. Now,
50 years too on top of that with a 25-year workmanship.
Okay, 25 years.
I mean, we're married to that thing for 25 years, and GAF covers it, you know, so heaven forbid something happened to me, they're still covered by business that's been in business over 100 years.
GAF,
I mean, so
I believe are they still there? Are they the number one?
They're by far number one, and only 2% of us are Master Elite across America, and I'm one of those.
That's the thing I wanted to ask you. Tell me a little bit more about that Master Elite, because I've heard about that. I know Nick a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And he's told me about that Master Elite. That you've got yours only 2% of the
only 2%
contractors in the country are Master Elite. Tell me what that means to be a Master Elite.
So Master Elite is you follow the GAF standards and practice on installing the shingles and the cuts and the overhangs. As far as the underlayments and making sure all the components match. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything bad about anybody, but you may have passed by a job site before and you saw there's a bunch of mismatched shingles out there. Okay, that's not a roofing system. So we put together a complete roofing system that flows, and all those systems and components that are meant to work together gives you that longevity, and GAF backs that warranty.
So yeah, it's nice to have, like anything we talk about, you must have a system. All my cameras and everything's very systematic here. Imagine the chaos. As we started off when we first were doing this, 4 different cameras, we didn't know which, we had to add it all separately. But when you build a system, now you've got something you can count on, it's efficient, it's going to perform, and therefore they will warranty.
Like you got a good system.
There we go. Thank you very much. I didn't pay him to say that.
Nice.
But thank you for that. But literally, like if just being systematic and having a system, because a home, a lot of people don't realize that, but there's the water flow, there's the ducts, there's
airflow,
the
ventilation.
Ventilation is key.
It's huge.
Why is that so important?
Ventilation is huge because look, imagine your house. Okay, so the heat rises to the top. You've got no way for that air to escape. Even to the point that maybe there's no soffits in there because the soffits is what help push that air out through. Some people have box vents, but we cut a ridge vent across, or they may have gable vents. So if you got gable vents, you got good ventilation. But the point of it is that if that heat gets trapped in there, it cooks those shingles, starts to form what we call blisters. And the blisters do exactly what the hail damage does, except for the blisters is a maintenance issue, and hail damage is an act of God. So you get up there and that roof ain't been ventilated, you could have hail damage, but now we've got to convince the insurance or talk to them and try to point out that, hail versus blistering, and they all kind of similarly look the same sometimes. And that could be a fight. And then that may fall back on the homeowner and $30,000 unexpected dollars that they got to come out of pocket, and it's
proper maintenance, everybody. That's a big one. But just having the right structural design.
Yeah, right.
Having those air vents. You've got ridge vents on
ridge
top
vent across the top, and then soffit vents will allow the airflow to go to the top. And I've actually worked on a few houses that did not have soffit vents. They make what's called a smart vent that you can put around the ridge, or not the ridge, but the eaves, and that allows the airflow that kind of works as the soffit because there's no soffit there.
Take lots of notes on this one, everybody. Cyril is very knowledgeable and has been doing this, and he knows all the lingo. That would be.
I got trained by some good professionals.
Okay.
Out of Missouri, actually.
But you paid attention.
I paid attention to it
because obviously those are much to go into that. And if you're messing up these things when you're trying to work with an insurance company on your own, you're going down a difficult path. But with that, I wanted to give a shout out. You've got a nice, there's a couple places here, but I like the way you have embedded in your website. These are the Google reviews. I'll go wide here. These are the Google reviews right from Google, but they flow into your website right here.
Yeah.
You've got that 4.9, almost a perfect score.
Almost a perfect.
And a ton of reviews from a lot of people here. I'm just going to click on one here and see what, I'll just pick this one. Marlon was very professional throughout the process. I can put this on the screen for everybody to read along with me, actually.
Yeah, that's out of Virginia. Yep.
Okay. The entire process clearly articulated the exact problem and solution. The on-site team, led by Freddie, were very thorough. We'll definitely refer them. And they go on and on about things like this. So, how's that make you feel? You've worked hard to earn those. To put
it's like I say, it's about relationships, you know. And I'm very hard on myself, and I don't like to let anybody down. So, you know, I take those very serious. When I get, you know, you allow me in your home, and I tell the homeowner we're married to this process. Now, this is my baby. I'll give you your house back to you when I'm done, but this is my baby, and we're gonna have this thing in tip-top shape. But I love the reviews. I'm thankful for the community. And just being able to serve the community I just don't have the words for that.
Well, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to come sit down with us and talk a little bit about it, because we're looking for those experts that the community can trust and has performed well and takes care of those people that we live next to, and we have friends, and we want to make sure we've got the right people we can refer to them. With that, we've got some community stuff we were doing recently, getting ready for Cardinal season, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Here's my buddy Nino. Said some fun here down at Busch Stadium. Check it out. Hey everybody, guess what? We get to have fun all the time at the Cardinal games. Before the game, we get to hang out with fun super fans. Say hello to my buddy Nino over here. Brett, Tanya, and Dixie. That's right. Everybody's in the video here. Family coming out to the game. Nino, what do you love about going to Cardinal games?
You love baseball?
Yeah. He loves baseball. Hey, all right, scoring points with the Cardinal Cowboy.
Yeah, he plays Miracle League baseball.
Do you really?
And he likes to be on the Cardinals team at home.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you know how many times have you been on that team? How many times have you done that?
A lot.
That's a good answer. All right. Dad, what's it like coming to the Cardinal games with your son and your wife and all the fun you get to have down here?
Oh, it's the most fun. I mean, we've been coming since Old Busch. You know, now we've got New Busch Stadium. It's the best baseball town. And it's the most fun. You know, it's fun before the game. The games are always great, and we love it.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking time here. We're at Patios, everybody. This is where the most fun is. I get to wear the full outfit here. I got the pants, the socks, the arch, Nino, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie all here, and we're outside Patios having fun. Hey, say hi to Patios. Stop on by here before a Cardinal game, and we'll see you guys soon. Nino, give me some knuckles. There we go. Go Cardinals.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey, we're looking for the small business owners and leaders in our community to be on our show. This is the Your Little Castle show. We air 3 times a week, every week on ABC, and we would like to put somebody you know, or maybe it's you, who's a business owner to be on our show. You'll sit right here in our guest chair right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you, and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. It takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there's no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Check that out. Go to bigleagues.com. So there you go, everybody. Fun stuff we get to do in the community. And hey, pick up our book, Magnetized Media. We're going to talk about this a little bit later. But yours truly wrote the foreword here because media has changed the way the game is played. And you've got to put your name out there. And we'll show you how to do that efficiently without getting taken. We were talking about it. I'll tell you what we were talking about. Many marketing companies really take a lot of money and don't perform. Well, I'll show you mistakes that people make. But with that, tell me a little bit, if you're real, Cyril, I'm putting my camera back over here. Give me a cost analysis. There's many people that they don't want to take this on their own. But but there also is a cheaper way out. Sometimes people think they're cutting corners.
Right.
What are they doing here?
Chucking a truck come in. So let's say they get the paperwork from the insurance and it's $29,000 on there, and they just see the number. And then so all of a sudden, they're saying, oh, chucking truck comes by, hey, I can do that cheaper. Well, first of all, it's fraud because homeowner's not allowed to profit on the insurance claim. So if it's $29,000 and chucking truck's gonna come do it for $20,000, well, you just saved the insurance company $9,000 because that money's got to return back to them. Okay. Why would you not take that $9,000 and put that extra back in your home? I have many incidents where there's a lot of things that are unknown variables that people don't realize. I've taken claims from $29,000 to over $100,000. I got the receipts, as the youngsters like to say. I got the receipts to show it. But it's all about what you're entitled to and what's damaged on a property that you may not even think about it. You look at the window wraps and you'll go around the windows and you think, well, there's no damage there. Chalk it up and that window wrap is damaged. And then all of a sudden that window wrap is tied into the window. So now you're replacing the whole window. Now you're getting windows. Then you might have a matching clause. Now you just got whole brand new windows across the back of the house. I don't know anybody that's going to be upset about getting brand new windows that the insurance paid for. I haven't met them yet.
Well, but you've got to understand how to present that to the insurance company.
You got to present it to the insurance company, and you got to even be looking for it to know to look for it. And if Chuck and the Truck ain't looking for it, Chuck and the Truck's looking for a deal. He's trying to get a deal and get out of town. He's going to try to make you feel good that you're going to pad your pockets, and guess what? It's going to cost you more money later on. You're trying to save money that's going to cost you money. So,
I didn't realize that, but yeah, if they cut the cost, that money goes back to the insurance.
It goes right back to the insurance company. You don't get to keep it put in your pocket. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but that Chuck and the Truck are trying to tell you that.
Watch out for these scoundrels, everybody.
Oh,
That's why we got to get with people.
I don't even take any. Here's the deal. What I do is sometimes I knock doors, and I know the stigmata that comes with knocking doors, but opportunity comes knocking, and I don't require any money to start a project. So I'll come there and say, look, I'm gonna defuse this whole situation right now. I'll put this roof on first before I collect one penny from you.
Wow. So then there's no question for them.
What are you gonna say now? Are you gonna scam me? I'm about to upfront $30,000 on this. And oh, by the way, did you know that we have this much damage on the siding, the windows, the gutters? Your fence over there, personal property, swimming pool. I mean, who knows? I don't create the storms, but I want to help the community and help my homeowners, which we are family, get through this thing and put them back to pre-loss condition with a plus.
There you have it, everybody. And this is why you got to find experts. That's why we want to spend time talking to somebody, because you don't get to have this kind of conversation when somebody's knocking on the door. We appreciate that effort. But when you get to hear, hey, if he's knocked on your door, Cyril's knocked on your door, then he can see this
Answer the door.
Answer the door, and then check this interview out. Yeah, he's got a lot to back up what he's talking about here.
Yeah, they'll come to the door sometime with their phone. I can't hear. That's my favorite one.
I gotcha. Well, tell me then, with that, I assume people are going to be asking, why should somebody choose you? What is it that really, lots of companies out there do similar work to you. You've got a few advantages there. Reiterate for me a little bit.
My main thing is I care. And I'm going to be on the project when it's going. So it's not that like I'm a sales guy or something, come in, sold the project, you never see me again. I'm with you, holding your hand. We're going through this whole thing together. While they're putting the roof on, I'm making sure trash is not blowing into the neighbors' yards. nails are not getting into your dog's foot or your tires. Making sure that, there's no corners. I mean, we're still dealing with humans. We're all humans. So making sure there's no corners getting cut. Making sure, this is Missouri. Weather pops up on you and making sure you have to navigate through that. And there's all kind of different things, but we're on the job. And so that's what you get with us. And I'm pretty sure that people might have had experiences before where there's been work performed and there was no one there. And then they didn't know how to deal with, maybe the crew that was there. And maybe the communication was a breakdown through that. And that could be very frustrating, with somebody having to go through that, because you got to think about it. Their whole world's just turned upside down. They had a storm to come in. They're not expecting this. Now their house is damaged, and now they got to get the house put back together. Now you got strangers in your home that you can't even communicate with, and it's like, okay, what are you doing? I care. I'm there, and we're helping through that whole process. Not to mention my credentials with the, one of the strongest warranties there is with Master Elite, 50-year warranty on the materials with a 25-year workmanship. I mean, you can't beat that.
That's what I was gonna say. When you start talking about the things that those warranties are
they're huge.
50 years. That's an incredible offering, and it's tough to match that anywhere. But not only 2% of the people out there.
Only 2% of that one. Standard impact resistant Class 3 right out the gate. It's going to save you some money. State Farm and a few other insurance companies are actually in those. Participating in those programs, and it's huge.
Makes a big difference, especially if you want to get your house back to the original. And maybe it's going to be improved a little bit with some newer, better stuff, obviously, as materials come out, and they are always improving. We talked about the to be certified Master Elite. That's important.
Yeah.
What's one of the best benefits you think of being a small business owner, and how you get to help people more directly there?
Because I get to be more hands-on. I've seen good accelerating years where you're running like 5 jobs a day, and sometimes you're getting spread thin. But the huge things about being a smaller operation is the customer service. You have more control over that, and you got more control over people that care. There's like 3 or 4 of us out that we cover the whole state of Missouri, just local to Missouri. And that is the huge part, is the customer service. I mean, I can't stress that enough, because without the homeowners, without the community, who are we? We got nothing. You're nobody.
Yeah, well said. You want to see the community thrive, and you want to have homeowners that have a great product.
Yeah.
And
sometimes money in roofing business and storm business, it can come in pretty fast, and if you're not used to that, and I've been doing this for 15 years, you don't understand it. Sometimes I've seen people, human nature, just get blinded by the dollar signs and not realize that, hey, that dollars are tied to a person.
Yes, there are families at stake here, and a lot of hard work that people have put into this to build the house that you're working on.
Yeah, I mean, they want to work every day to take care of this. That's important to them. And then the roof is that's a major important thing. I mean, you have to take that serious. It's not, these are people.
Very important. Well said. Well, with that, I'm going to ask Cyril if he'll stick around for another half an hour, because I want to pick his brain. He really knows his stuff, and it's a pleasure to have somebody so knowledgeable in studio here to talk about this. If you've been through a storm, you know what we're talking about. I'd like to bring the experts on here. StormProsMO.com, and we'll be back. Stay tuned. Giddy up.